In men's formal fashion, a man dressed in a tuxedo always looks very successful and important. And when wearing a tuxedo, it's always very important that the tuxedo fits properly. In this presentation, I'm going to show you how to properly measure somebody for a tuxedo. Men's formal wear relies on accurate measurements to ensure that the tuxedo fits properly and it looks the way that it's supposed to. After 3 years of working in a men's formal wear shop, I know the proper techniques on how to properly measure somebody for a well-fitted tuxedo. But before I demonstrate on how to measure, I'm going to show you the different parts of the tuxedo. So first you have the coat and the pant, which are the main parts of the tuxedo. The pants, what make them different from normal dress pants, is the silk satin stripe down the side of the pant. The lapel is usually shiny. It just makes it different from a regular suit coat. Then you have the shirt, which is next, and there are different variations of shirts. You have the lay-down collar, like this one is, or you have the wingtip, which is more of a traditional style shirt. And then you also have the cummerbund, which is, again, a traditional style. Some people nowadays are doing the vest, which is a more modern option. And then you also have the the bow tie, or you can also do the long tie. Typically you do the bow tie with the cummerbund, and you do the long tie with the vest, is normally what people do. So right now I'm going to show you how to measure somebody, if I can find my measuring tape. Here it is. So now I'm going to tell you how to measure somebody for a tuxedo. If you can come up here. You have to have kind of a flexible measuring tape that makes measuring a lot easier. So I'm going to start with the neck, and you just wrap it around and see how many inches around the neck is. There's a little bit of wiggle room with a tuxedo shirt. It has kind of an adjustable button, so that makes it a lot easier. And then you also measure the arm length, so you'll put your arm like that. You start right here at the back of the neck and bring it over to the shoulder. Then you bring it down to the elbow, and then wrap it back around to the wrist, and then you look typically right there where your sleeve, where you want it to hit. Some people are in between, so you kind of ask them, you know, what they prefer, if they like a longer sleeve length or a shorter sleeve length. After that, you measure the pants, so you measure around the waist to see what size waist they wear. Tuxedo pants are adjustable, so they range between 3 sizes. So you would wear a 30 to a 32, and that gives them a little bit of wiggle room so that you don't have to be as accurate with your measurements. You can have multiple people wear different kinds of pants. And then you measure the outseam. So you hold the measuring tape at the top of the pant, and you hold it tight all the way down to the ground. Normally you have people take their shoe off so that you can get an accurate measurement based off of a tuxedo shoe. It's just easier to do it, and also you can alter them very easily. And then next you measure for the coat. And the way that you do that is you ask them to put their arms up, and you measure around like that, and you see about where the tape measure is hitting. You kind of give it a little bit of wiggle room so that it's not really, really tight. You have to make adjustments for the shoulders. So we're going to have him try on the coat, and this way we can see how it's supposed to properly fit. The coat is the most important part of the tuxedo because it's obviously the outside, the outer layer, what most people see. And so what you do is you make sure it fits properly in the shoulders. If it's really big and really loose, then that means it's probably too big. You want it to sit flush with the shoulders, like it is doing here. Then you look next here. If there's a lot of room, you might want to go down a size. But if it's hitting how it's like laying down properly, then you know that it fits correctly. And you also look at the sleeve length as well. You obviously don't want the sleeves to be too short, and you don't want them to be too long. You want them to hit right at the wrist. Some people like their shirt to be out a little bit. Again, that's a preference thing. You kind of ask them if they want their shirt to show or not. So this tuxedo coat fits in properly. And having proper measurements is really important because you want a well-fitted tuxedo. You usually pay a lot of money for them. They're usually for very formal events like weddings and stuff like that. So it's very, very important to have proper measurements. And it's also very good to know measurements kind of before you go in or have an idea of what your sizes are. so that you know kind of what you're going to wear, and it also helps the people measuring you know what you normally wear. So I hope this demonstration helps.